St James's Street in London. It is one of the most traditional thoroughfares in the capital, with the Royal Palace of St James at one end and Piccadilly at the other. The street is lined with fine buildings, some dating back to the late 18th century and the area's Regency-era heyday, and is home to gentlemen's clubs, wine merchants, tobacconists, hat makers, barbers and tailors, purveyors of goods and services to an area that still retains its masculine feel. In the 19th century, St James's was mainly residential, but after the Second World War, its grand aristocratic houses became too expensive to run and were either pulled down or changed to offices. Now, the area is dominated by business and finance. The needle, however, is set to tip back in the other direction once again, under a £500 million plan by the Crown Estate, which owns half the property in St James's as the area is known. It plans to redevelop buildings, create new public areas and convert some of its commercial premises into residential dwellings.
The Crown Estate have had a huge regeneration scheme which they started a couple of years ago and is an ongoing 10-year programme. And that regeneration and that public realm improvement really helps to make St James's a much more attractive place for people to live. You can buy anything from a studio or one-bedroom apartment for maybe £700,000–800,000 up to, say, a large lateral apartment overlooking Green Park, where you could be paying £10 to £15 million. The buyer profile in St James's historically has been very English. The offering traditionally was very small, sort of gentlemen's pied-à-terres, studio flats or sets as they were known as. And over the years, as the demand has changed and St James's has become more popular, particularly with foreign buyers and particularly European buyers, there's been more of a need for larger 2- and 3-bedroom and even 4-bedroom apartments. I think the history of St James's is very important to the buyers, and they are attracted by the old school establishment, if you like.
Incoming residents can get a taste of the area's history simply by strolling up this street, revealing some extraordinary survivals among shops in the neighbourhood. The same businesses that were used by historical figures such as the Duke of Wellington, Regency dandy Beau Brummell and William Pitt the Younger. At the bottom of the street is Berry Brothers and Rudd, the wine merchants founded in 1698, just as the royal family decided to make St James's Palace their main residence. Originally a grocery, Berry Brothers became a corner shop to the elite families who built their mansions here to be close to the royal court. The shop's historic relics include this weighing machine. It became all the rage in the 18th century for members of the aristocracy to be weighed here as they ordered their claret and port. Berry's still keeps the leather-bound ledgers showing the weights of Beau Brummell, Lord Byron and other customers. Simon Berry, chairman of the family business, has been witness to some of the more recent changes in the area.
Well, I first started working in St James's Street in 1977, and it was a sort of desert in that time. No restaurants, mainly the clubs, and a totally different atmosphere to the very vibrant atmosphere that we have now. The area has always been the home to clubs, and actually clubs have changed a great deal over the course of the last 300 years. I think that old establishments such as ours are important to this area. There's a traditional heart to this place.
A little further up the street stands the ancient, much-repaired doorway of Lock the Hatters, which has been providing top hats, trilbys, homburgs and deerstalkers to St James's customers since the 17th century. It measures some of its customers using an extraordinary contraption, the conformateur, made in 1852. The pins and levers around its rim mark a card showing the precise lumps and bumps on a customer's head. Queen Elizabeth used it for the refitting of the coronation crown in 1953. Many shops have had to expand their clientele, but the gentlemen's clubs that pepper the area, White's, Brooks's, Boodle's, the Carlton Club, remain important for business.
Club members have been getting their short back and sides at Truefit and Hill since 1805, including such figures as William Thackeray and the Duke of Wellington. Some of the barbers have been working here for half a century.
In property terms, St James's has suffered by comparison with Mayfair, its northerly neighbour, which is enjoying the fruits of its own redevelopment 10 years ago. With the Crown Estate plan and related developments, St James's will be hoping to bring back more of the Regency swagger to its own historic streets. James Pickford, Financial Times, London.